Today at 1, we're live in the Ukrainian capital Kyiv with reports that Russian troops have reached the outer edges of the city. A huge explosion in the early hours here as the fighting gets ever closer. The Pentagon warns that Russia plans to cut off access to Kyiv, surround the city and lay siege. Widespread damage, the debris of war. Moscow says its invasion is to help Ukraine. The president here wants the West to intervene.
This morning we are alone in defending our country, just like yesterday. The most powerful forces in the world watch from afar. Have yesterday's sanctions persuaded Russia? We see in our skies and feel on the ground that they are not enough.
We are interested in seeing Ukrainian people independent. We want them to have the government that would represent all the people in all their versatility.
The West makes clear there'll be no NATO boots on the ground. Instead, more weapons and more EU sanctions. The crisis has led to Russia being stripped of hosting the Champions League football final, while Formula One has cancelled this year's Russian Grand Prix. We'll be reporting from western Ukraine, where thousands are trying to flee the fighting across the Hungarian frontier.
And on the BBC News Channel, stay with us for continuing coverage of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, with analysis and reports from around the world.
Good afternoon and welcome to the BBC News at 1, live from Kyiv, a city now directly under Russian attack. Foreign forces and Ukrainian troops are engaged in heavy fighting in a suburb little more than 20 kilometers to the northwest of our position here. During the night, loud explosions could be heard, accompanied by air raid sirens right around the city. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says the international community has left his nation to fight alone and that civilians are now being killed. Well, the fighting is nationwide, but the Ukrainian Defense Ministry's confirmation that the battles are now on the fringes of Kyiv has shocked many. The Pentagon warns the capital could fall in the next few days. America and European Union people have announced further sanctions targeting Russian banks, the energy sector, transport and visas, as well as freezing assets, further tightening the screw on Moscow. Our first report this afternoon is from our diplomatic correspondent, Paul Adams.